You know, age is one of those things which is so coveted nowadays. As young is so in that even at 30 something, you feel old.
It's not, okay, I don't like saying old. However, there's something that happens at 30 and you just learn yourself more. And so you have more knowledge to share. So I connect and I can relate to people younger, but there's definitely more experience and that I have.
What happened at 30 that changed? Was it like you woke up on your birthday and you were just different?
I swear it was like a click. Like something happened. You just couldn't make excuses anymore. It was like, I'm 30, I'm an adult, I need to get my shit together. I can't have the excuse that like, oh, I want experience and do this and that. And it's like, no, like I need to have direction. And like, this is the time, especially as a female too, because of the clock and everything that we...
Is it ticking? Is your clock ticking?
No, I turned it over.
You just start over?
Yeah, like I'm not even looking at the clock anymore.
Do you, as someone who's in their 30s and who is female, do you worry about kids, marriage? Because that happens to a lot of girls wake up at 30 and go, uh-oh, I need to get my shit together, and it means breaking up with whatever fuckboy I'm with.
That's exactly what I did.
And I need to figure it out. And now all of a sudden, John, who would hit on me for 8 years straight, who has a job and good credit, now he looks appealing.
Yeah, that happened. However, now in the past couple of years, I have like transcended that, so I don't worry about those things anymore. But it was a thing that happened to me. Like I broke up with my boyfriend and like wanted the white picket fence. It was like on a search to find that life and that picture that I had in my head that my life was supposed to look like. And
what's your life supposed to look like?
Well, now or what did I think?
What is it now compared to the stages? Let's go through the stages of what a woman thinks her life is supposed to be. What was your life supposed to look like in your early 20s?
College, fun, parties, just experience traveling.
College, fun, party, fun.
Right.
Oh, yeah, college. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But only for fun.
Only for fun.
Oh, we get graded in college? Oh,
we need to finish?
Finish? You know what I'd like to finish? Hey. So you were way more concerned. So early 20s only wants to have fun.
Right.
Late 20s.
Late 20s is like the time for career building. You know, like you want to get your things in order. You want to settle down personally. And this is like speaking nowadays. So like, yeah, personally, you just want to settle down and be stable in your late 20s.
Okay. So late 20s, now you want to be stable. So what happens when you get into your 30s?
30s is like when it has to happen.
It actually happens. Now your plan goes into effect.
Right.
So
now is like it needed. That's when you wake up and you're like, oh, this is supposed to be settled now.
So you're still making excuses in your late 20s.
Yeah, because you're in your 20s, and like there's a thing about it. It's just an excuse. Like I'm in my 20s, I don't have to do anything yet, but I'm ahead of the game because I'm making moves to get there. I'm
still trying to do stuff, but it doesn't have to be. But once you hit 30, you're like, oh shit,
you're like,
this is real.
Everything like slows down. You're like, oh, this is it.
Older than Soldier Boy. Yeah, it's crazy. That's a real thing. A lot of people don't realize.
How old is Soldier Boy?
I think Soldier Boy is only like 26 or something.
Okay.
27.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're going to have to find that out right now. Because I've brought this up to George before when I was like, let me explain something, how old Soldier Boy is. Let's see.
Well, I mean, like Superman, that whole era was like 2007.
Yeah, so
I remember that very well.
Let's see how old.
Most people were still
28. He's 28. Okay. 28 years old. Man, that guy, he's accomplished a lot. He's just done a lot.
Has he?
He's already done.
He's got one.
He's already done.
Right?
Like he's got a hit. He's kind of retired. Like he's an OG in the game. I mean, he's done a lot by 28. FML.
I would like to know what his experience though is like. Does he know himself? Did he go through that introspection.
And that's what you teach now. That's what you go through now. That's part of your path, is that you go through, do people know themselves and they experience themselves through flexible yoga?
Well, yeah, that kind of was my path to enlightenment, was starting with yoga and learning my body and connecting my mind, body, spirit together to find, the places in myself that I need to work on.
How'd you get into yoga?
Well, I started yoga in college because I was just having fun.
Because you're like, oh my God.
Like, this will make me better at things that I'm doing right now.
I'm white. I get it. So you did yoga. Okay, so then what? So
then I just continued to do it because, it was like a fitness thing, and like it made me fit and look good and helped me with that. And then I kind of lost it for a little bit because I was dating people that were kind of taking my attention away from the things that I loved to do.
And then you got back into it, but now you do it full time.
When you say do it full time,
like you do yoga full time. This is like
I do
teach
it every
yoga,
day. I teach, I do it.
It's a lifestyle.
Personally every day, yeah.
All your clothes are kind of yoga clothes.
Well, it's comfy.
I mean, listen, I am the king of comfort. I understand, and I appreciate comfort. So, yes, I get it. Mm-hmm. I'm just understanding your lifestyle because I've never done yoga.
Okay.
I'm not like a yoga meditation person. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't know if I would enjoy it specifically, right? So it's always interesting to me how people find yoga. Mm-hmm. Like, what is their experience? What was their first experience? Did you get good at it right away? How does it work? What is yoga? Like,
well, like I said, it's like a way to align your mind, body, spirit. But a lot of people get into it for different reasons. I mean, right now it's just a hot thing. So it's easy to find a yoga class or a yoga style that works with you, that you're interested in. So they do like hip hop yoga and like rooftop yoga and mimosas and yoga and beer yoga. Like they try all these
beer yoga?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, frat boys, guess what we're doing? Beer yoga. Brad, we're doing some beer yoga today, bro. Woo! Beer yoga. Is that how that works?
Probably, yeah. I've never done it.
What's the most exotic yoga that you've done? I feel like you've done some naked sand up your ass on the beach yoga.
Like by myself, yeah. But not like I taught a class or I took a class that way.
Yeah, see, and you know what's interesting about that? How you did that on your own and by yourself and got to know yourself, but more importantly, how you scrub so hard to get sand out your ass. Because here's the thing, sand really finds its way in your ass.
Yeah.
It just stays in your ass.
Especially if you're like sticky and sweaty.
Exactly.
It's there.
That's why when people are like, yo, sex on the beach. No,
Never.
That's just fucking, you're asking for sand up crevices.
And women have a lot of crevices.
A lot of crevices. Even guys forget they have crevices too. You know what I'm saying? You do not want sand in your pee hole. Don't ask me how I know. So
Wait, have you had sex on the beach?
Have I ever had sex on the beach? No, I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I've also probably gone to the beach a finite amount of times ever. I've just been there.
It's just
I get
not
it.
your thing.
There's waves.
I know.
It's water.
I know what it has to offer.
Yeah, I get it. Like sand.
Not every man is the same.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. That's going to get into our conversation. But my whole thing is like when it comes to the beach, I get it. I understand why other people like it so much. Mm-hmm. But I'm really not going in the beach swimming. If I like to swim, which I don't anyway, I'll go to a pool. Like I just never been a beach person. Like sand is inconvenient. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, what about girls in bikinis? Yo, that's what YouTube's for.
Gram.
That's what Gram is for. Like, I don't need to go to the beach to do any of this stuff.
Okay.
But I understand why people love going to the beach.
Yeah.
I can only spend a certain amount of time at the beach. I'm not going to just lay out on a towel. Like, if then why did God invent the mattresses? You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, why do you think God invented mattresses?
Because they're like heaven. My mattress is like heaven.
Oh. Is this where you put in an ad?
No, but we are looking for sponsors, so let us know. Here, we play a game either or. That's how we get to know you better.
Right.
We ask you a question, and here's how we play this game. I'm going to give you the rule. It's really simple, and yet you'd be surprised how many people don't understand the rule. It's either or. So pick one or the other, please. We ask you to do so. Now, we don't do anything without people's consent. So if you don't want to do it, you don't have to, but just know you're no longer playing the game. The game is either or. Okay. And I may or may not psychoanalyze your answer, so whatever. Anyway, let's get to the either or. First either or question. Tomato or tomato?
Tomato.
Tomato. Interesting. Down to earth girl. Plain, possibly a tomboy growing up. Knows how to be herself. Doesn't like to beat around the bush. Doesn't need things to be bougie and fancy. Still likes the finer things. Also lesbian. Anyway, let's get to the second one. I have a theory that all women are lesbians.
I know, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, guys make girls like, they're like girls. If I was a girl, I would never like a guy. We suck. We're disgusting. We smell most of the time. I'm just,
Yeah,
over guys.
I highly disagree, but.
Okay, well, we'll talk. That's a good one, too. Second, either or. Jean shorts, cargo shorts.
Jean shorts.
Jean shorts. Yeah, lesbian. Here's the thing. It's like, jean shorts. Why jean shorts?
Well, I'm thinking about wearing them for myself. And so.
How you interpret the question is actually.
Yeah. I would never wear cargo shorts.
Never?
No.
Never, ever? Never, ever, 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 ever?
It's just, okay, there's pockets, and if I have pockets, I'm going to use them. And if I fill them, then I'm going to look bigger. And who wants to look bigger? No one.
Okay. Either or. Ass or breasts?
Ass.
You're an ass girl.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
100%.
That's because you're half black. I get that. I get that all the way. You're just why ass over breasts?
Because if I were a man, I think that like you need like the handles for certain, like more often in more positions. So I like that.
Sure, let's not feed kids. Let's just have handles during positions.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure we make kids. We don't need to actually keep their life.
I think like breasts are very versatile, and I appreciate that about them. But I don't think of them purely sexually because of that, and my mind is always in the gutter, so I'm thinking about sex.
And that's the thing. A lot of guys don't realize how often girls actually think about sex. Women think about sex as much, if not more, than men.
100%.
Yeah. It's a thing.
It's a thing, and we talk about it.
You talk about it
with like our
other
friends,
girls.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you guys say?
All of the things.
All of the things?
Yeah.
All of them?
Unless it's someone that we really like we are like going to marry.
And then that's the one you.
Then it's like you. It's like
and then that's the one that gets
stuff.
screwed, because that's the guy that you tell your friends all the bad things they've done, but never the good stuff. Like it's never. It's always like, oh my God, he came so late to pick me up. We were supposed to go to dinner. He couldn't. He had to call out work. It's never, oh my God, huge penis. That guy. That's the. Oh my God. Like he sucks, and he doesn't text me good night, and he actually hit me once, but amazing in bed. Like no one ever says that stuff. It's always the horrible, horrible things.
Well, people like drama.
Yeah.
And so like the negative things create more of like that emotional reaction from people, and people need validation. So it's when it's like something is going wrong, they want that validation from other people that like, I'm right here, right? Like, he's wrong, I'm right. I need you to tell me that. They
love that. Like, and you know what? Guys love it too. Mm-hmm. And I tell guys always, personally, You might be correct, but you're not right. What's the end game? What's the bigger goal? Mm-hmm. If you want to be correct, sure. But if you want to be right, maybe you need to realize what you need to do to be right.
Right.
Sometimes it means shutting the fuck up.
Or just having empathy and like understanding someone's perspective.
Yeah, that's tomato. I just called it tomato. You called it tomato. Empathy and understanding someone else's perspective, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. It's actually the same exact thing. Each week we pick a topic like of a crush just to get to know you better. Who is your type, right? But we pick a topic for it. This week's crush is going to be a meditation crush. This is someone who's in their mind, someone who's in their chi. So like a Gandhi, is it Confucius? Is it?
This is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough. Who's your meditation crush? Someone who's always at Zen. You're just like that Zen.
Is it actually someone that I'm attracted to, or is like I like their energy?
Like their energy, someone whose energy you like. No, it could be a regular person that you know, but we prefer to be someone we all know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like someone that I would like crush on physically and want to be with them.
But that's up to your interpretation. So it doesn't have to be no.
Okay. I'm trying to think of someone hot too, so that it actually.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. Dan Connor could make the list. It's just up to you. It's really up to you.
I really am digging like Jim Carrey and how he like
the beard. It's the beard.
And it's funny because I share a birthday with him, but like how he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. And he's just being him. And I like that. And like I could tell like, and he looks a little more rough. Like you could tell he really like dredged up some stuff that he worked through. Are you looking up?
Jim Carrey's birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, when is Jim Carrey's birthday?
January 17th.
You're a January 17th person. Got it.
Yeah.
Noted.
I expect a gift.
Yeah, I'm going to send you some Lululemons.
I'm not bougie, remember?
Yeah, but Lululemon is like the go-to yoga wear.
I'll wear it.
What's your go-to yoga wear?
It's so I enjoy Lululemon and all of those brands, but I don't buy them. I buy them secondhand. I'm like thrifty like that.
You buy secondhand. See, that I couldn't do. I couldn't buy, for example, I can't buy briefs, underwear secondhand. Okay. Like I feel like yoga pants are too tight to be bought secondhand.
Sometimes, I mean, it's still tags, but I don't buy it from the store,
Yeah, but sometimes they're tags. Sometimes someone else has worn them.
Sometimes, yeah.
And you are now wearing their coochie juice.
You wash it.
Yeah.
How is it?
Coochie juice doesn't wash off. I just feel that all the coochie juice just always stays.
I'm okay with coochie juice.
It's just always a good thing. Well, as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah.
I just don't want other people's coochie juices. Do you share toothbrushes?
No.
Okay. As long as we're on that level. Poppin' or stoppin'. Poppin' or stoppin' is a trend that men do that we want to know your opinion on. This week's poppin' or stoppin' is going to be calling him daddy. Mm-hmm. Should we, as men, pop it, keep doing it, or stop it? No more.
I don't know why it happens. Like, why is this a thing? When did it start? Is it something that you guys like? I know I'm like answering a question with a question.
No. I completely understand. Now, personally, daddy is something that's always been a little weird to me. I've never been a daddy, baby, booby person. I've just never liked little cute nicknames. Mm-hmm. But the daddy, baby thing sounded a little weird to me always. And I don't know how it happened. But if I had to guess, and it does have to come from a concept of an alpha, I'm the one in control. I'm the head honcho. I'm the top position here, and that I can understand. Mm-hmm. That actually is a concept I can understand and get behind.
Yeah, it's like a role playing thing.
Yeah, so it's different. It's like calling me daddy's a lot different than call me Uncle Joe. Like call me stepbrother Charles. Like, okay, we need to have a conversation. Like,
yeah, I think you should drop it.
You should stop.
But, yeah, stop it. Is that the thing?
Popping or stopping. You're going with stopping. That's
I have never really done it. And the only time I've felt the need to maybe do it is because I thought that he would like it. But it's still kind of weird. And it felt
unnatural?
Yeah.
Are you a talker?
During sex?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you speak.
Right.
But you just didn't like daddy. Other things you're willing to say.
Right, yeah. But I feel like it has to be natural.
Unless you're talking like, oh yeah, environmental law is very important right now. I'm like,
if we're role playing,
we should recycle. Yeah. Like, what are you?
Like I'm the person that wants to save the whales.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, this reminds me of the time that I helped a dolphin. Like, oh my god, we're gonna need this to stop. Question from a listener. Every week we ask the listeners to send us their questions. We try to get to as many questions as possible. We do choose them at random. We appreciate all of you. Please keep sending us your questions at imperfectshow@gmail.com. This question, and we always ask them to come up with an anonymous name. Mm-hmm. This one is from Trey Wrongs Me. Okay. I guess it's a play on Trey Songs.
Yeah.
Trey Wrongs Me. I'm dating a guy and I really like him. He, however, has expressed concern regarding the way that I dress. I tend to dress in skimpy outfits. Mm-hmm. He liked them when we first started dating, and it's actually, in my opinion, I think what attracted him to me in the first place.
Of course.
What should I do?
Well, this is clearly bringing out some insecurities in him.
Sure.
So they've reached a point in their relationship where like that new phase is over and like we're getting serious and now he has insecurities.
Sure.
So never change. You do you. And if he doesn't like it, then he's not for you. Like, that's it. Everything is so much more simple than people make it to be when it comes to dating. It really is not hard.
Well, here's the thing. Now, while I want to agree with you, we didn't hear the context. Maybe she's dressing like this when he's like, hey, babe, want to come meet my parents? And she's like, yeah. And she's going over there in a thong and bikinis. Like, maybe that's a little inappropriate.
It's still her. I mean, she can wear whatever she wants. If there's an issue with something like that, then that's a conversation.
This is coming from a guy in a bathrobe. I have to respectfully disagree. When you get a job, and you know you're getting a job and it's a corporate world, you know how to dress the part. If you're a doctor, you know how to dress the part. You would never go to a doctor that's dressed like Master P. That just wouldn't be. It's like makeup saying, oh, like you would be
now
like.
Now we're showing our age.
I need someone else. You'd never go to a doctor, Dr. Gucci Man.
But in the corporate world, in a professional way, like there's always a dress code. Like there's always a business casual or business attire or there's
sure, but
it's
sometimes if you're gonna meet the parents, that is an in the handbook conversation. You are meeting my parents, bitch. I'm gonna need you to dress.
Well, a conversation needs to be had, yes.
I need my dad not to have an erection when he meets you. Oh, hello, Karen. Very nice to meet you. Ooh, like I'm gonna need you to put some clothes on.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still it's if she feels comfortable in it, meeting them, then that is her personality, and
sure.
He can either that he's for her, or he's not.
Yeah, this isn't like saying, hey, I need you not to be black when you meet my parents. This is, I need you to put on a dress.
But we don't know if he said that. And she
I don't know. I'm giving a context where I just want to say where that perspective does not work. Mm-hmm. Sure, in regular life, going out, is it a trust issue? Did someone say something? Maybe she does dress like a hoe. I don't know.
But dressing like a hoe is very subjective. Your idea of dressing like a hoe and mine is two different things.
Okay, so let me just subject away. Let's say you know someone who wears nipple clamps and a strap on and decides that's clothing.
Well, I mean, there's also the law.
Whoa. Are we? No, I mean, have you been to San Francisco? All I'm saying is this. Let's say that's her outfit. Mm-hmm. Are you pushing the limits a little here? Are you like, can you take off the strap on at least when you meet my parents? What would you want someone to wear to meet your parents?
Whatever they want.
Really?
Yeah.
I can meet your parents in a bathrobe?
Sure. Yeah. My parents don't dictate me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What and I like you.
What would your parents' thought be?
And I'm sure it would be he probably should have dressed more appropriately.
Why is he not in clothes? You only get one chance to make a first impression. That's all I'm thinking. That's all I'm thinking. Because sometimes there's a difference between changing yourself and being considerate of someone else. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
That's all. So you can be considerate and not change.
But sometimes people aren't like to that point of like consideration of other people.
I mean, I'm a selfish piece of shit, so but I also own a suit. So just to let you know, I clean up really nice. Let's go to sharing is caring. We all know sharing secrets is the best way to have people know about you. Today's sharing is caring secret is, what is the dirtiest thing someone has ever asked you to say?
Oh gosh.
We have some people send in some good ones actually.
I feel like it's not them asking me to say something. Though.
Sure.
Like, I've had like some weird things that they have said.
What is the weirdest thing someone has said to you?
Like a first timer.
Sure.
I want to put a baby in you.
You know, question. Was this a black guy?
No.
Oh, okay. That's even weirder. So here's the thing. Because I feel like in black culture, or at least not black culture, but more hip hop culture, that's a thing. And I'm like, you know what, Darnell? You're really not doing anyone's favor. You're not doing anyone a favor, bro. You work at Rite Aid. No one wants your baby, buddy. No one wants your baby.
Yeah. It stuck with me. This was a long time ago, and
it feels like they're trying to trap you.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I want to put a baby in you.
It's not sexy.
And you know,
I don't want to think about babies. During that.
Else is less sexy? He didn't even say if it was his baby in you. What if he was just hoping he wanted to actually take a baby and just like, I want to put a baby in you. Someone else's random baby just right up in you. You don't know this guy. It's a first timer. All I'm saying is there are some weirdos out there.
Yeah.
I want to put a baby in you.
I feel like a lot of men don't talk during sex. And so therefore their expectation of dirty talk might be less.
A lot of guys don't have anything to say. Like I'm personally not really much of a talker during sex. I always think it's awkward. What am I going to say? Everything kind of sounds kind of cheesy.
That's why it has to be natural. Like, are you thinking something that might benefit?
Listen, if I said the things that I was thinking, you're going to be like,
put a baby in me?
Put a baby in you. It will be like, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's the I love you of the nasty things that I'm thinking.
Give me one thought that you've had.
A thought that I've had?
Yeah, that you didn't say.
Why are your toes crooked? Like, listen, I'm not.
But that's not. I'm like, saying. Yes, I'm saying. What's a thought that like would benefit the experience?
Thoughts all the time.
That would like.
I have horrible thoughts all the time. I'm a horrible thinker. I think to the far extremes of all things at all times. Mm-hmm. So I have learned that it's best if I don't always. Now, unfortunately, it's not a rule I keep as often as I should. If I don't always just speak my mind. Sometimes I've learned the special skill that I preach, shut the fuck up.
Realize that's a thing now.
It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a lifestyle. Yeah. You're a yogi. I'm the shut the fuck up I.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a skill. I think it's a skill set. I think, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, men and women, need to learn that skill.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes.
Then they can listen.
You just need to shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up. Which is why I want to get into our topic today, which is you have a very compelling belief that not all men are the same. Right. Given the general consensus that men are all the same, men are all dogs, men are all pervs, men are all creepy, rapey, all these things that men tend to be categorized in. Men are all catcallers, men are all misogynist. In a lot of these ways, men are all liars. You are under the strong belief, and you preach this, that not all men are the same.
Right. So most does not mean all. And just because most of someone's experiences with men go a certain way, it doesn't mean that all men are like that. And you're closing yourself off to any opportunity of like attracting the right person if you're automatically thinking that something negative is going to come from it. Yeah,
because we were talking about this earlier. You actually had this experience where recently you had a friend's car get stolen, which I can't believe. Actually, I think there's way more to the story. Your friend's just
we're
not
gonna
telling
get to
you.
The bottom of it. Yeah,
I need to find out what happens. Like I'm gonna keep in touch with you just to find out how this plays out. Right. However, the concept is you had a harrowing experience yourself where you were actually carjacked by a person. Yes. And I, of course, asked you, was the person black? It was in Orlando, Florida. You were carjacked and the person was black. And you said, but I don't think all black men are carjackers.
Right. It's not, I don't hold my experience against every black man that I meet. And I actually date black men. So it's really doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't like have those stereotypes. And I don't think in the general thoughts of all men or all black men or all, black people or whatever is
based on the characteristic of one person who did something, and you feel the same when it comes to men in general.
Yeah.
So what are the things that you feel are generally a consensus regarding men that you do not believe is true?
Well, there's always like the men ain't shit and men are dogs and they only want one thing and they're all players. And I just...
Yeah, that part, all up to there, that was all true. What do you think is not the truth?
I don't think any of it is the truth.
Oh. How so?
All men are like that.
In your experience, have you met men that were like that?
Yes.
Have you met men that were not?
Yes.
What's the percentage if you had to throw out there?
I mean, there's more men that are like that than not. Or that act that way. And I don't think like... And it's also interpretation, like we were talking about slutty clothes. Like my interpretation of a player is going to be different than someone else's. And if someone's like very sensitive or like in a weird place and they're always like thinking that someone's out to get them, then they're going to be the victim a lot. And so every man that they're going to meet is going to have some kind of thing, like something that is wrong with them.
Has a man ever completely surprised you? You thought they were a player or a liar, and then they turned out to be an amazing guy?
I rarely like make that decision or determine or like that opinion of someone before I know them.
Yeah.
Is that boring?
No. I want to know because a lot of people look at Martin and go, "Man, that guy's a player." This Martin's a player, Martin the player, the lying player.
I have been surprised by people, I guess. I mean, like with the general, what most people would think of a certain guy or type of guy, and that's what kind of has brought me to. They're not all the same. Like everyone's individual, and I don't want to be categorized. So why would I categorize someone else based on their profession, how they look, their race, what they dress like?
Do you get into fights with your girlfriends over stuff like this?
Yeah.
How so?
I get in fights like just with like a group of women, period, and they start, talking about men, and I get very uncomfortable. I'm like, I am not comfortable with the situation or this conversation because I don't think it's fair. especially if a man's not present to defend himself. We shouldn't start this whole like this generation of haters.
Where did you get this? Where did this notion come from? Is it something you were always like this? And the fact that we are even shocked by your notion says a lot about us as a society right now. But is this something or was this one of those, it hit me when I was 30 also?
It kind of hit me for sure. Because I was jaded for a long time. Just
Why
like
so?
After relationships. And
who hurt you?
Right?
Who hasn't?
No. I mean, it was more about me than them. Like, I allowed them to hurt me and to get in that deep. So it wasn't about, I mean, they're terrible people, but it was my fault. No. It was my doing, my allowing.
And that's what you learned when you turned 30. You learned that you had a lot more control over your life than you realized.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why you feel like every man is differentiated.
Well, I was attracting the same kind of men, and it was because I had the same attitude towards men. I thought that they only had like certain things to offer. So then those were the people I was attracting.
What was the attitude you had?
Like, I thought that like they were all going to be like very manipulative and tell me what I want to hear and only want whatever I could to benefit them, whatever I can offer to benefit them, instead of being more open to a relationship. So I had to detach from that expectation of what men were to me.
And have you had the best relationships you've had now?
I haven't had any relationships. After I like...
Ever since you made your revelation of everything, you haven't had any relationships?
No, I haven't even like dated, really. So it's been almost a year.
Why?
Well, I needed like time to dig in deep to myself and realize like what voids was I trying to fill by relationships and attracting the wrong people. And then it was just kind of like I need to focus on other things. And I'm very much like when I get into a relationship, I put everything into it. So like all of my attention of like school, profession and stuff that I'm still working out that aren't stable yet, my energy would go into the relationship. Just because it's exciting and new and sexy.
And so you like giving your relationship your all.
Yeah.
Like you put everything in a relationship.
And I just don't have my all right now to give.
You don't have your all to give? Like what more do you need?
Well, I'm like doing things. I'm like trying to build a career and like doing other things in my life that are more important. Just a priority change. It's not a priority. I know that when it is supposed to happen, it will, because I'm like doing well and I'm happy, and so only good things are going to attract me.
So you're saying if you're in a good space, good things will happen.
Yeah.
If you're in a good space. With yourself at least. Not even financially, but just mentally. If you're in a good space, you're finding that happiness.
Yeah.
What are the things that make you happy? Because I feel personally that a lot of times, a lot of problems in relationships are because the person is not happy and they keep trying to fill a void with someone else when they have to realize it has to be with themselves first. If they, like, I see this come up with situations where girls will hit me up and I'll be like, but if you had things going on in your life, you wouldn't be as worried about me right now. Like you wouldn't have time for me either. Where it's like, if you were doing stuff, you wouldn't be worried about what I'm doing right now or having time. Because I always use the catch a flight. Have you ever been trying to catch a flight? And like, when you're trying to catch a flight, that's the only thing on your mind. Yeah. You don't care. And sometimes people will call you and you're like, yo, I got to catch a flight. Like, I don't care whatever this emergency that you're having is. The house is on fire, your grandma is dead, whatever it is, I get it. It's going to have to wait until I get on that flight and land. And then we can deal with it. And I'm always catching a flight.
It's priorities.
Yeah, I'm just always catching a flight in life. So if someone else is also catching a flight all the time, trust me, they're not as worried about how come I didn't text good night, you know? Like, yo, it wasn't.
Things like that, that's just insecurities. And like you said, if they're not stable within themselves and know themselves, then they're going to always be on edge. And anything that you do is going to, like, spark it. Like, spark the, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?
Have you been in those relationships? Like,
yes.
Were you ever the person in the relationship that was like that?
I've been on both sides.
Okay. Which one was worse? Did you hate being that girl, or did you hate that guy? I hated being that
girl because I wasn't that girl. And in this relationship, he kind of drove me there, and like, kind of like pushed me to my limits. And that's when I knew that it was like, this isn't right, because I'm acting this way and I know that this isn't me. Like, I'm not a jealous person. I'm not insecure. But if you're never home, you're like coming in at 5 a.m. with nothing to tell me, and you don't have a job, and you can't pay for your bills. Like, there's like things that like pushed me there. It's like, you need to answer for yourself.
His mixtape was about to be fire. You don't know this guy's life.
I did. I was with him for a long time. I should have known his life. What
was his life?
I still don't know.
You still don't know his life?
I have no idea.
You don't know what he was doing until
I don't know.
5? I know.
I can't speculate. I can't assume.
I can.
You can do that.
He was reading. You don't know his life. He was reading the Bible.
Yeah.
He's a pastor now.
It's in the past.
But so you feel like you were driven to that in that situation.
Right.
By that guy. But then again, you also think that another guy will drive you to be successful. Like, another guy can be there for you, supportive, never make you feel that way.
Right. Absolutely.
So you did not base all the actions of the next guy off of the last guy.
No. Well, it was like kind of a progression. Like, I dated someone after my long relationship, and I was like working through things, and I think I like had better communication skills, and I knew myself a little bit better, but I still had resentment that I was bringing from the last
So now you would never be like, where were you? What were you doing?
No, I don't think that there would ever be... I would never get myself into that kind of situation.
Like, you would,
like, there would be a mutual respect.
And
I know the red flags now.
Okay.
Like, I should have known well before I was to that point.
Did your friends tell you these red flags?
Yeah.
So maybe you're just stubborn and hard-headed. Has that ever occurred to you?
I think everybody is. I think everybody has to.
That's what stubborn and hard-headed people say.
But yes, I am stubborn. But I think everyone needs to get to a certain point.
So maybe that's why you think not all guys are the same. You just don't learn from your freaking past mistakes. Maybe you're just too stubborn and hard-headed.
No, I do learn. That's how I am where I am now. I learned the biggest part of it all was that it has to do with me. And I had to, like, be right within myself. And I was attracting, like, low vibe people. Because
vibe and vibes. How important is that energy, that mutual energy?
It's everything. Now, everything. I know right away, like, if we could vibe, if we could, like, progress.
And that happened click when you turned 30. Because so many people, boys and girls, guys and girls, women, men, are so afraid of that 30 mark.
I think it wasn't like right when I turned 30, but 30 made me realize I had to, like, know myself. And part of that was, like, tapping into my intuition and trusting how I feel around people and those red flags. And, like, just as soon as those red flags come up, like, it's done. There's no point of forcing it and settling. That's like a lifelong...
You think most people settle?
Yeah. Like,
how so?
Almost like a very high percentage. I think they just do things for the wrong reason. Yeah. And they're not ready.
Yeah.
usually comes down to the fact that they weren't ready, they rush things, and they are ultimately settling because they haven't explored themselves enough. And like there's the whole societal like white picket fence, you got to get married, you got to start having kids at a certain age. And so you meet someone at 27, 28, and you're like, oh, I really kick it with this person. Like everything's great for a few years. And like the next step is to get married, even though there's like, I'm not 100% sure. It's not like a fuck yes for me, but it's cool. Like I could probably do this.
What age should marriage be the conversation then? In your world?
Personally, or just what I think
personally,
in general?
And what do you think in general?
Personally, I don't know if it'll ever be a conversation. Like, I don't need that. I'm sure it will happen, but it doesn't have to happen by a certain age for me. And then in general, for everyone, like all of my friends in their 20s, I'm like, you gotta wait until you're in your 30s. Even if you find someone, you date them until your 30s, wait.
That's interesting. Some people are like marry young. Some people are.
I mean, if you want multiple marriages, marry young. If you want to go through a divorce and then get remarried, then you can do that.
Have you ever been married?
No.
She's been married.
No.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being on the show. You've shed so much light, given such a great, wonderful perspective. I know it was your own, but there's a definite gap between what guys think and what women think. And now we're always willing to learn. We appreciate you very much. Where can people find you if you want to be found?
At Alex_Andria_Loren.
Oh, you're an underscore girl.
I know.
You're one of those. Each and every week, we pick an imperfect gentleman of the week. Someone who embodies the characteristic of an imperfect gentleman. This week's imperfect gentleman is Mr. G-Eazy. Not only is he the white rapper supreme right now, and he has impeccable hair with his little line haircut, it was his birthday. So happy birthday, G-Eazy. Had a great time. We appreciate you. Thank you for being you. You know, stay out of trouble. That's what's up. That's what it is. You know what it is. Each and every Tuesday, we're right here. I am the impeccable, impenetrable Tehran Von Gosri. Find me at I Am Tehran all across the board because I am Tehran, IAMTEHRAN on all social media. And of course, I'm alongside Mr. George Corey, who's not in the building, but you should find him as well at Mr. George Corey. That's KHOURI. And we are Imperfect Gentlemen. Remember, nobody's perfect but us. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same channel. Martin on the board.